Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Different Lens Podcast. My name is Daniel, your usual nerd. I like games, movies, music, anime, pretty much everything.
Mhm.
And this is...
And my name is Juan Felipe Sierra. I've been in the entertainment industry for the past 14 years. And today we actually have a very, very cool guest.
Yeah, who is it?
So her name is Ashley. She is a very good friend of mine. She's actually the one that gifted me this shirt from Raíces and Returnings. And we are going to talk a little bit about religion in media and how it affects us and how we can discuss it very, very openly and peacefully.
Good. Hopefully we can keep it very peaceful.
All right. So let's welcome in Ashley. Welcome. It's awesome to have you. Let them know a little bit of who you are, what you do, why are you here with us today?
Hi, them. My name is Ashley Diana Leon, and I'm here mostly because you invited me, and thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here with both of you. So who am I? I am a digital conscious creator, emphasis on the conscious, and a writer. I love to express myself as authentically and neutrally as I can. We were talking about this earlier. One of my greatest strengths, I think, is talking about controversial or polarizing things in a compassionate tone. So through those things that I've done, I have other certifications that maybe aren't important, but it's all in like the holistic lifestyle because it's really important to me to be like a very integrated human being, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. I have created some products recently, 2 ebooks. One is called Rebuilding Reverence, and it's all about being able to have a relationship with the divine that doesn't require you abandoning yourself.
Right.
And the other one is called Queer and Called. And it's exactly what it sounds like, that you can be queer and be called, meaning just have that intimate relationship with the divine and you don't have to choose between your spirituality and your sexuality.
Yeah, called C-A-L-L-E-D, not C-U-L-T.
Yes.
The cult.
No, haven't started the queer cult yet, but
Yeah.
it's on the way.
It's on the way. Next time we see you, we're gonna be on the queer cult.
Yeah.
So, for example, we see a lot of religious significance and symbols and very paraphernalia out in the open with no issues. But when it comes to, for example, atheists or non-believers, it usually gets criticized or it gets mocked or it gets demonized even. How do you what do you think that could be split where yes, you can have it, but you don't need to demonize it?
I'm going to try to provide a short answer for that because I think there's something in my world, I don't know if you guys have heard of it before, but we call them sacred cows. So sacred cows in a snapshot is the things that people hold as absolute truths in their life that create part of their identity. And that everybody has them. Even atheists have sacred cows that make them them. So when you mess with someone's sacred cow, you get a reaction. And for religious people, some of their sacred cows are, depending on what expression of the religion that they're in, the denomination, right? Because there's thousands of them. But depending on where you are, and primarily here in the U.S. and the Western culture is Christianity, Catholicism.
Oh, Catholicism, yeah.
Yeah, which, okay. No comment.
Could be both.
Yeah, they have a lot of overlap, let's
Yeah.
say. So in that, there's different things that are taught, and one is good and evil, right? Black and white. And I think when we train people to think like that, it's really hard for them to hold that middle ground for, okay, maybe this isn't something that I believe in or agree with, or maybe I don't like this challenges me, but I don't have to make it evil. I don't have to demonize it. And so I think that solution or a path towards that starts in these spaces where you're being taught how to live out your faith, how to express your faith. How do you do it in a way that still leaves room for people that don't think like you? Because I think a lot of what ends up happening is, we were joking about a cult. It's not that necessarily they're a cult, but it feels like anything that doesn't fit this sacred cow, this belief system that we've created in this little hub, it's not good.
Yeah, the us versus them mentality.
Exactly.
Of if you don't think like us, you're against us.
Yeah, or it's scary for them.
Correct.
It feels intimidating and scary. So
Correct.
it's not always out of judgment.
Right.
It's primarily out of fear, but it translates into judgment.
Right. Interesting. That's a very interesting point of view. Looking at it. One of the things that I want to ask as well, we are subject to seeing so much media and how in the media, how everything gets twisted and gets the imagery that we have for certain things gets so twisted when we're looking at it through the media, right? Like, for example, your beliefs and, like you were saying, the atheist and all of that, right? And one of the main things is how sometimes you also see, for example, certain beliefs, right, in religion like Christianity be elevated so much, like it's like the absolute religion that you need to believe in.
Totally.
Right.
Same thing, as you guys were mentioning here in the United States, it's something that is like, it's huge, right?
Totally.
Even, I want to say this, but even up to the president, right, saying this is Christianity, it's like the absolute religion for the United States of America.
Right.
So, given that leaders are utilizing this as a method, right, to bring people in, because it kind of is also a propaganda. When you say, if Christianity is the religion of the United States, if you don't believe in it, are you truly American?
Yeah.
In a way,
You're
right?
against
They
the
kind
United
of
States.
make it like that. How do you feel like that is put out there in the media to make it? I guess I want to get kind of like both of your thoughts on that. Like, how do you guys feel about that in general? Yeah, and just
I'll go first.
Yeah, be
Since
truthful and honest with it.
see, now for me, you're giving me a new perspective because Christianity has always come natural to me.
Correct.
You know, it's very organic. So I don't, you know, it's odd for me to see something outside of that, right?
Correct.
So if there was like a leader who was like, I'm an atheist and whatever, etc., I'd be like, oh, that's out of the ordinary, because that's out of the ordinary
Correct.
for my bubble and what I believe in.
Correct. Correct.
What
100%.
I will also, in terms of what you said about the propaganda, I mean, it's just so dangerous because everyone has a thought that comes up when you hear the word Christianity, and they're all different. And so that for me is like unique, right? So like I could tell you Christianity and you go into your files of all your experiences with Christianity. You go into your files, I go into my files, and we have maybe positive, maybe negative, but nobody gets to coin what that is. That's my belief.
Right.
And so I think the danger in that, like, let's say someone who's in a leadership position, they're coining a term or a reality based off what? Their experience, their
Right.
reality, their filters. And, you know, for me, I don't think that anybody in that position should use something that's so tender and sensitive to try to gain more followers or as an agenda, because I just think it's really dangerous. And at the end of the day, it's not like you get to sit down with that person and go, well, what do you mean by that?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's different here. Where
Right,
yeah.
because there's nothing like that major at stake.
Right.
And if you remember when Obama became president, a lot of people were feeling like threatened, like their beliefs of Christianity, because they were like, okay, a Muslim guy is coming in.
Right.
Is it going to be Sharia law? Oh, is going to be Sharia law? Is it going to be like, are women not going to have rights anymore? So people starting like began with fear just because the person believes something different.
Right.
And I think it led to a lot of racism, a lot of like religious bigotry, a lot of religious
Division.
hate, just because the person doesn't believe in what you believe. And, you know, we've both lived in the South, like the real South.
Right.
Where
Not the dirty South.
The
Yeah.
dirty South, like where you know, cowboy hats and yawls and all that.
South Kakalaki.
Is South Kakalaki. I lived in Dallas. So we do
Right.
see that there are a lot more, like, for example, in Dallas or in Texas in general, there are more churches than even McDonald's.
Right.
Like, that's how fervorous religion is down there.
Right.
So it is difficult to manage, and it's difficult to see, like, I can't just, it's gonna sound weird, but I can't just openly say like, oh yeah, I'm an atheist, bro, like, you know, well, because people are gonna get offended and, you know, open carry, and so I'd rather not, you know, say that in the South.
Right.
But you know, like, I do believe that there are people that want to push that just for token points, just so that
Yeah.
people don't feel like, oh no, you know, it's okay, I'm one of you, and they don't really believe it. We've seen it with many people that they use religion or religious imagery or religious points or religious talk
Just to appeal.
to
Yeah,
fit an agenda,
absolutely.
to appeal.
Right.
Yeah, it's because I'm also pointing this out because I love watching YouTube videos about the randomest thing ever.
Oh, yeah,
like
they're awesome.
random. And I came across a specific channel. I actually became very fond of it. Like, I really enjoy watching it, which they shoot guns. It's America, right? So they shoot
America.
guns. Yeah. And they're like, how many, like, what type of bullet would it take to go through a Lego set, right? And they just start shooting different, like, caliber of the guns and the way until, like, a big ass gun. And it's, like, really, like, America, right? And one of the main things that they emphasize there is faith. So not only
Really?
they're shooting guns,
Oh wow.
but they're also emphasizing the faith. So I feel like at times there are certain individuals, and I'm not saying that this is their case, but I feel like, again, they utilize it. They weaponize the beliefs.
They're literally weaponizing
Yes.
their belief. Yeah.
Because they make it
That's
believe it's their weapon. The weapon to obtain a mass following not only is, for example, in that case, the guns and the showy,
Right.
showcase of those guns and everything what they're doing, but also they're trying to appeal certain individuals. Like, they're doing that, and they also have faith. They also believe.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're also trying to, reach out to more people just through that.
Yeah, I have a lot to say on that. Again, I will try to condense because I also went to seminary school and Bible college. So
Right.
I have studied the Bible and its impact in the world and read it in different languages and contexts. In the West, we are highly focused on evangelical Christianity. So evangelical literally means that you proclaim and you share about your faith. While that can be a beautiful thing, if that's something that's bearing good fruit, one of my favorite Bible verses, now that we're here, is you will know them by their fruits. And so that's kind of like my test of character for every single person. Like, okay, sure, you claim this, this, and this, but what's the fruit of your life?
Okay.
Right? And so that's just like a quick checkpoint for me. But aside from that, there's a push in churches. And I say this because I've been to countless churches and sat in countless sermons. And I know what it feels like. I used to be a missionary full time. So they got me. Honestly, they got me. And I'm not trying to even demonize that time of my life, as we spoke about. I think it was a life-changing, growing experience. And I'm really grateful for it. But what led me to go, you know what, I'm going to give up my life as I know it. I'm going to live off $50 a week, which was the donations I was getting, and I'm going to go live in a foreign country where I don't know the language with strangers, was this push. You must share the message. Like, this is like the top priority.
Right.
It's like you are better, holier, closer to God. And nobody says that directly, right? It's like...
Inferred.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because you see who's getting praised.
Right.
The people who are getting praised and promoted in churches are the loud ones. That's just what it is. And so you learn to go, oh, so this is not just like a personal experience. Like, I have to make this known. And then every conversation ends up not being organic anymore. I got to the point where every moment I had with someone felt like I had an agenda. And the secret agenda was, I have to talk about Jesus.
Right.
Because if I don't, then I'm failing him, or I'm messing up, or I'm not so bold and brave in my faith. I say, again, I like to hold things with nuance. I think there is a beautiful thing about loving something and sharing it with someone, but never out of an agenda, never out of obligation,
Right.
And the sad thing is that these people from this YouTube channel, like many other people, I guarantee they're talking to their pastors and going, you have this platform, you need to utilize it for this.
Yeah.
I guarantee
sure.
it because I know what it's like to be in that position.
Right, right.
And suddenly everything has to be about that. And that's why in the beginning I said I like to be an integrated human being, because I'm not just my spirituality, right? I'm my humanity, my emotions, my logic, my intuition. But all of those things aren't what's celebrated or taught. It's very linear when you're
Yeah,
in these
correct.
religious spaces.
Yeah, like I at one point I was very much a devout Christian, and like I would like hold youth groups, and I would do like Bible study, and
Wow,
I would
I
like
did
yeah
not
I
know
was
that.
I was in like by like when I was in
I'm
Highland
glad I'm
Oaks.
here so you guys can get to know each other.
Yeah, in Highland Oaks, and right after Highland Oaks,
No idea.
yeah, I was like a devout Christian. Like I would go Tuesdays and Saturdays to church. I would do like the youth groups. Yeah, dude, I was full in.
Wow.
And the moment
Wow.
I know. I don't look like it, but I was. A lot of people that leave the faith, they have that breaking moment, or like that shattering of the glass.
Right.
For me personally, was that, what is that called? When they tell you that you're gonna start speaking in tongues,
Right.
and they do like this
It's a
ritual.
spiritual gift.
Yeah, they're gonna do this ritual, and that you're gonna start speaking, because I heard them say
And also,
basically
this
like
is a specific sect of the Christian
right,
faith.
right,
Charismatic Pentecostal.
right.
It's not everyone.
Which is this is like the $1 million spaces and the hundreds of thousands of dollars each service.
Prosperity gospel.
Yeah, I hated that. Which is a lot. It's one of the most like practiced things here in the US, which I think is disgusting. But anyways, to me the breaking point was when they were like, okay, you are gonna speak in the tongue of God, and you're gonna speak his language, whatever. And I heard them say very similar things. So I was like, okay, so there is a specific language. And they just went, okay, go. The only thing that I remembered at the time, because I freaked out, do you remember the Final Fantasy VII movie, Advent Children?
No.
Okay, so there's a video game that had a movie, but it's in Japanese. All I could think of at the time was that movie. And I started just talking in Japanese. And they were like,
Oh
yeah,
my
spread the word of
God.
God. You are like connected with God. And I'm saying like, we haven't fought each other in so long. I'm going to kill you. And they were like, yes,
Wow.
you're talking the word of God. And I'm like, that to me was like, they're full of shit.
Yeah, you're like, what am I doing?
And
Right.
right after that, it's like, okay, I started to doubt my belief. And I confided in the person that, when you have youth groups, you have
Spiritual
to,
leader.
yeah, you have a spiritual leader that you kind of like has to oversee whatever you're doing.
Right.
I went to my spiritual leader, who I thought was a very, very close friend of mine, because I was friends with his sons. And I was like, hey, I'm having these doubts because of this and this and this. And the second I told him, it was like, how dare you? Shame on you. Shame on you for feeling this. Shame on you for doing that. Shame on you for not taking it seriously. It's like, it's just, I freaked out and I just didn't know. So that to me took me out of it. But the more I would like question things, and the more I would like use thought and logic and reasoning, the more I was met with, you're just a heretic. You've been, Satan is in you. You're going to go to hell. So it's like, why are you casting aspersions on me
Right.
if I'm just asking questions?
Correct. Right.
Oh, you don't believe in God? It doesn't matter how good you are as a person. That doesn't matter how good you do. You're going to go to hell just because you don't believe in God.
It's funny. For me, it would be the opposite. It doesn't matter how much you believe in God.
Yeah, correct.
If you're a shitty human being.
Correct.
So there's this movie I saw a few years ago, since it's media. It's called The Shack. It's an incredible movie. I really recommend it.
Okay.
The background, of course, is Christian.
Mm-hmm.
The storytelling, the everything, cinematically, acting, incredible movie. And the way that they capture that relationship with the divine it's beautiful. It's like, if someone was like, talk to me about God, go watch The Shack. That's all I have to say. Okay. And I'm thinking of that right now because the main character is angry with God. And basically he like falls on his head and has like
amnesia,
a time of unconsciousness. But in that unconsciousness, he is, hanging out with God. When he gets to this place, he's like in a forest and he's walking. The house that he sees is his childhood home. And his childhood home was not a safe space for him. It was a place of torture because of the way his dad treated him and his mother.
Okay.
His dad was alcoholic, abusive, whatever, and he did a lot of horrible things. So he's like already, on guard and feeling unsafe because he's like, what's going on? He walks in and God is an older black woman. And so, of course, at this point, he's not like, that's God. He's just unconscious, right? I'm saying that as the viewer who already knows what the plot is. That black woman was his neighbor, who was the one who was always safe for him when he was little. And he would go to her house when he felt like, his needs weren't being met. And she would bake cookies for him. And she was that mothering, nurturing presence. The movie goes on, and long story short, as he's going through his journey, he's angry because what ended up happening is something happened to his daughter and he wanted justice. He wanted justice for what happened to his daughter. And God is taking him on a journey of understanding basically all the trauma and the lineage that's come from the act that the man who committed against his daughter, what his father did to him, what the grandfather did to the father, et cetera, et cetera. This can be a truth no matter what you believe or not. You don't know what's going on in people's lives. Yeah. You don't know the relational, generational history that's made them who you are. You don't know the context. So how I would voice that is I cannot play God in anybody's life other than my own. And what I mean by that is like I have power over my life to a degree. Of course, we all have things that are outside our control, but I'm like the God of my life. In the sense that I co-create, I believe, the things that happen in my life. Patterns, good, bad, ugly. I'm co-creating everything. And so the way I lessen things like that is that's like just a perspective that I live with. Literally, who the fuck am I? And I have no fucking clue why someone is the way that they are. I can be pissed. I can judge it. I cannot like it. I can distance myself from it. But I really can have no judgment. And I always have that movie playing in my head. It's like, that person you think is an asshole? Well, and I know this is like, it's not for pity, but like someone was really an asshole to them. Yeah. I truly believe that. People. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
Interesting.
That's an interesting way of looking at it. I kind of want to switch a little bit the pace of this conversation.
Yeah, get a little heavy. Get a little heavy. Yeah.
No, I want to keep it heavy.
Let's keep it heavy.
No.
Fuck everybody.
But right now, what I want to kind of focus is let's take a little bit away from that and talk about a little bit of in the media. Let's go for a little bit of a positive ride for now. There's so many movies, right? And there's so much positive media that have showcased spirituality and religion in really, really good ways. Even going as far as, for example, even Disney or Pixar putting out movies that kind of have a little bit of spirituality in it,
Right.
and that make you feel more towards, I guess, like that, like feel certain way of the, like, for example, there's a movie, the Pixar one, with the guy that passes away, the jazz player.
Yeah, Soul.
So, yeah.
Oh,
Which is a journey,
one.
right? It's a
Yeah.
whole entire
Yeah.
journey. And I think that spirituality and then the whole journey of the afterlife, I think is a
Right.
really beautifully, really well done movie overall.
right.
And I think it spreads a phenomenal message about, kind of like being there for the moment and also kind of like understanding the afterlife. Same thing with Coco, kind
I was
of
about to bring
going.
Coco, yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, going
Yeah.
towards the afterlife. And, for a country that it's very big and believes, right, in religion and everything, I think the movie depicts everything very well. So I kind of wanted to go now into that more positive, where you guys have seen these things happen. They have spread a really good message without necessarily
Beating you over the head.
beating you
Yeah.
and shoving it down your throat. It's more like
Totally.
the message is there, and it's a beautiful message where you come out and kind of like the movies that you're mentioning.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe we sit down, watch a movie. Maybe it's obvious, but maybe
Right.
the way it's done is some type of way that makes you feel like, well, it was good, and I
Right.
didn't feel like it was pushing me to something.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about that. What do you think? Like, give me some movies or some media that you guys seen like that.
I mean, if you think about it, movies like, even though it's a comedy, but the original Bruce Almighty has a beautiful message of, you don't know
Right.
what it's like to be God. You think you know better than
Yeah,
I was
that's
thinking
a good
about that one.
Everybody gets yes.
Everybody
Yeah.
gets yes. Everybody.
Yeah, I was thinking
and,
about that
and
one.
just to try to impress a girl, like destroys a
Right.
bunch of places just because he makes the moon brighter or closer.
I always want to
That's a
make
great
the
scene.
moon brighter.
Oh,
That's a
yeah.
great scene.
Come here.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then he like moves the stars and he creates like tidal waves or whatever. I love that way of depicting it because we don't know
Right.
if there's a God, or at least we don't
Yeah.
think that there's a God, or we don't know if there's a God. But also like, oh, you think you know better? Here, do it.
Right.
That sense of accountability also of
Yeah.
like, bro, you don't know.
It's humbling.
Yeah. But I also love movies that have that sense of, we just want to tell a story. Yes, it involves it, and yes, we're gonna make it a part of it, but we're not gonna, like, it's not the central theme.
Okay.
Like the central
right.
theme of Coco is family and lineage. It's not
Right.
death, it's not the afterlife. It's family, it's music, it's
Correct,
tradition,
correct.
it's culture. So I love seeing movies that, yes, they have a message, but it's not, you need to go to church. Because I've done like being part of like Christian movies, and I've seen some Christian movies where like the bad guy is an atheist that is like money hungry and just kind of a piece of shit. It
Is his
doesn't.
name Juan?
Yeah, the Juan and Daniel, they're pieces
Yeah,
of shit.
that's what I thought.
They're Hispanic too for some reason always. And they're terribly acted. That is for real. They're terribly acted. But
There's a movie. I think it's called like the pastor. There's a raptor, Velociraptor. There's a bat Velocipastor. I think.
I don't want to hear about that. I don't know.
I love when people make crazy ass movies.
It's like
But-
a Velociraptor is also a pastor. Oh my god.
But I was the voice in one where it was honestly about authenticity, but it went about it like, first of all, the guy looked like a dollar than a bag of rocks. So he was just kind of like, He was one of those like server dudes that was like, I like you. But the main love interest, I'm telling you, I had to act that way too. So
Sounds like cringy Christian
oh
movies.
yeah, sometimes they're fun.
There's too many of them.
Sometimes cringy Christian movies are fun to laugh at. I'm sorry, but
Oh, to laugh at.
oh yeah, for sure. Those are like so bad that they're good.
Mm.
Do you have an example, real quick?
The movie that I'm telling you,
What was the name?
I forgot. It was gonna be right.
I was
here.
gonna
It
say
be right
at least give us the name.
Yeah.
I can be Velocipastor.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. I've never heard of that.
here. What a dichotomy! What a dichotomy! Because a lot of Christians and a lot of people that don't believe that the dinosaurs exist, or there's like
I
we
know
were just
that is
created.
kind of funny.
That's the
So-
whole point. Yes.
I love that though.
It's like Sharknado, but like with dinosaurs and Christians.
Christians. I'm gonna say Christians because that's my
Yeah,
my
of course.
sect.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it right, you're gonna tell a story. You're not gonna tell Bible verses. You're not gonna have an agenda because
Right.
at the end of the day, I mean, from what I've read in the Bible, the 6 times that I've read it front to back, it is a story of the human experience.
Yeah, Correct.
It's actually a million stories of the human experience.
Correct.
And you could take any one of those and make it a movie. You know, there's a movie another Christian movie that I really, really love. It's called Redeeming Love. And it's based off a certain scripture where there's a prophet who gets told by God that he needs to marry a prostitute. And the reason this happens, it's because it's meant to showcase, like, it's a metaphor, right? Most of the Bible is a metaphor, not and allegorical, not literal. And that's where a lot of people get stuck.
Yeah.
But if you can picture the imagery, God is saying, like, I'm not saying God says this directly, but he's that prophet and his people are like the prostitute. What does that mean? Not that I'm a prostitute. It means that I go, I'm like, how'd you know? No, I'm just kidding. That, you know, there's always this like tug between the life, you know, where you think you want to be and your lover who's at home waiting for you. And the whole picture, I mean, the whole movie, they don't talk about God or Jesus once, but it's about a guy who's a farmer and he's portraying this prophet, and then he meets a girl in a brothel. Yeah. Well, he sees her from the window. He feels like that's the one for him. Long story short, whatever. But the whole movie, like, it's such an emotional movie. I cry so many times because I can see myself in that girl in different ways. Not because I've...
You've been at the window at a
No
brothel.
shame. I mean, no shame if you are. But in the way of, like, that tug-of-war between the life that I know I could have and the habits that are hard for me to get out of.
Yeah.
You know, those habits that keep me stuck in life. And we all have different ones, right? Sure. Like, there's just things that feel like they have, like, a big grip on you. In that movie, I'm watching it and I'm being, like, you know, emotionally, spiritually impacted without the name of Jesus or whatever ever being mentioned, because it's just that storytelling ability to go, oh, I see myself in that, you know, like that resonating and relevance. And so I love when there's things like that, because at the end of the day, it's like, sometimes you put a movie because you're like, I want to cry today, I'm putting that movie. And that's one of those movies for me.
I remember that there was a DreamWorks movie.
Sorry, I'm going to give you an example real quick that I absolutely love.
Sorry.
That doesn't have anything to do necessarily... I guess it's religion to it. You can back me up on this one. But Fire Force is an anime.
Oh, yeah.
It's heavy on the imagery of the church, right? Because they basically are...
Of a church.
Yeah.
Of a church. It's not the church.
Sorry. Yeah, not the church, but...
Not like Christianity. They have like their own kind of religion.
Got it.
Humans start combusting and they had to exorcise them and everything like that. And then so it's very... Like the imagery is like...
It's difficult. It's very heavy. Like you see people like burn alive.
Oh.
But it's drawings, but you still see how gruesome it could be. Yeah.
Wow.
So
interesting.
It's one of those that, and it's actually, again, a very enjoyable piece of art that I loved. And it was actually really good.
Yeah.
But
so if we're going on that space of anime, the books that they actually have behind you, the manga, and he knows that I'm always gonna try to bring this up.
Here we go again.
Little Alchemist Brotherhood. That to me is, I've said it many, many times here, and you guys know, to me, that's the greatest piece of art ever created.
I think at this point, after 25 episodes,
26
episodes, I think we can do like a small compilation of like every time you said,
to
me, it's the greatest piece ever.
Probably in like 10 episodes I've said it, and I believe it with my whole chest.
And you always... Oh, okay.
No. I don't grab my titties every time.
He always squeezes his nipples and everything when he says it.
I'm like, so this is the greatest...
It provokes emotion.
No, but... Like one of the things that I love the most specifically about that, and the reason why I identified so much with it, is because they show the positive and negative side of everything. So religion, science, war, beliefs, lack of beliefs, human experiences, human thought, psychology, like they show the positive and negative about everything, familial connections. So they always show that of like, especially the first 6 episodes, they show like what happens like in this can also happen in this.
Right.
So they have this one episode of the main characters are 2 brothers. They're alchemists, so they're scientists. They're like, we don't believe in God, it's just science. They go to a town where they're very religious about a specific kind of God, which is kind of like the sun god, and they believe that it's going to bring them joy and fulfillment. And the main like priest turns out to be just a scam artist that is just brainwashing them so that he could have basically a loyal army against the government. Now, when they show that he was basically a con artist, people revolt and people start, killing each other. And they're like you said, that they have that break in their belief of who they are, so they turn violent. It's usually what happens. People turn aggressive, they could easily turn violent, and imagine now a whole town of it. Afterwards, they also show a character that she's like, no, I believe in this, not because it's the actual sun god, but it's what I can do to make it better. So there's people that actually hold on to that belief in a positive way of, you prove that that guy was a piece of shit, but you haven't proved that this guy's a piece of shit.
Right.
So I love the fact that you could also see the hope and that belief brings, and the
Totally.
warmness and the sense of community that having a belief has. So I love the fact that they show both, where you can do really good using science, using philosophy, using psychology, using all of that, but you could also be a narcissistic piece of shit that, you know, hurts a bunch of people. Or you could be very good at being with religion, with beliefs,
Right.
with you know spirituality, but you could also be a manipulative piece of shit that wants to hurt people.
Right.
So I love that dichotomy and that double-sidedness. And yes, once again, I think it's the greatest piece of media ever created. I highly recommend it to anyone, and to you too. I think I've talked about it to you for like, I don't know, more than a year.
Yeah, we just stare at each other like,
Yeah, is that face of yeah. Just let him be. Just let him tire
He's
himself
having
out.
his moment.
So like I love media in general, that they can have that religious message, but it's not the entire thing is the religious message. That's what I was trying to get to.
Totally.
what about you?
I mean, for me, 95% of any religious media is positive.
Okay.
It's positive because I mean, again, it's not an offense to me and one of my sacred cows, to go back to the beginning. And secondly, like, I do feel like at the heart of all of the religious media out there, there is that desire for connection. Listen, Coco is one of my favorite movies ever created. And, you know, it's funny you say positive, and I am going to stick to the positive, but depending who you ask, it might not be a positive movie because it did offend some in the religious group. But not looking at it that way, from a positive note, I think what you were saying earlier, like the end goal of Coco is that family connection. That movie made me literally go, I need to call my grandmother. I need to like tell her I love her. I need to like, you know, start honoring the people who came before me. You know, it was like such a beautiful thing. Like, back to my statement, like, show me the fruit, right? I watched this movie that's like a kid movie. I remember I was actually babysitting and I was like, oh, let me see, you know, when did that come out? It came out a while ago.
2019?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Maybe even before that, I think. So I'm like, oh, for the kids. For the kids, I'm like, shut up. I'm watching Coco.
I think that's all those movies are.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that
right?
for
Well,
everybody. I love them.
But that's the thing. That's what I love about movies that are for kids that are not for kids. They're family movies.
Right.
Like that's a beautiful balance that Disney has.
Totally.
That they make movies for families that could be enjoyed for kids.
They leave a message to
And
even
they-
adults.
1000%.
Because they
Yeah.
have the bright colors and the moving things, but they also have that message of, hey, you need to grow up doing this. Like,
Right.
we all
Yeah.
watched like The Lion King, and we're like, we saw death like when we were like 6.
Right.
But it's
Scar.
not. It's with Scar and with Mufasa and like.
I always hope there will be an alternate ending in that
Where, like-
moment
where, like, Mufasa doesn't die?
Yeah. It's just,
You know what? I actually don't remember The Lion King.
oh wow.
I
That's
mean, I watched the
that's
newer
my
ones.
favorite
Disney movie.
yeah, of all time.
Nice.
I watched the
favorite.
newer ones.
Oh really?
The remakes, the 3D remakes.
No, why did
Oh,
you do that to
no,
yourself?
bro.
Well, because I don't remember the
How
first
dare
ones.
you, motherfucker! Talking about shame, you
Yeah.
piece of shit.
Yeah.
I love you guys so much. No, but seriously, like you should give it a rewatch. It's a beautiful
Yeah.
movie.
No, it is. I know it is. Like I said, I just don't remember watching it.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
sure I watched it.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed the other one because I guess it was bringing me back to that memory
Right,
of like
right.
watching it, but I just don't
Core
remember.
memory.
Yeah. Inside Out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So good.
Oh yeah,
that's a great movie.
It
The
is a
first
good
one.
movie. Yeah.
I don't know about the second one. I never
I
watched
haven't
it.
seen it yet.
I didn't want to tarnish my view on the first one because
No,
I think the
it was
first one
good.
was so good.
It was good.
And I
It was
love
good.
the fact that they
Brought in new
explain-
emotions.
Right, and they explain such deep psychological concepts
Exactly.
with bright colors and
Yeah.
So good.
animated.
I
I
need
feel
to
like
watch
that
the
movie's
second
for adults.
It
To
is.
be honest, like of course kids, but like you register it different. As
But
an
you get the
adult.
message.
Yeah, you're like, oh,
But
Like
that-
you
that's-
understand
Yeah,
it, you're
yeah.
like, oh shit.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what
It
I'm
hits.
saying. Like that's exactly what I'm saying. The movie is for kids, but
Right.
it's for the
totally,
family.
totally.
Yeah, the one that hits is you. You're like watching it right now. I'm
Right.
like,
Oh, yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Since we're all Colombian,
Okay.
we're gonna talk about a little bit about Encanto.
Okay.
Because that
I was
Encanto,
thinking about Encanto.
Encanto has a gorgeous message, and you haven't seen it?
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it? Okay.
But that's fine.
But we're gonna,
Well, you can still sit with us.
yeah.
You're like, no way. And I'm like,
It's not like it's your house or something.
Yeah.
But what I
this
wanted
is the
to
studio.
bring.
What are you talking about?
Huh?
This is the studio. What are you talking
I
about?
was thinking the same thing.
Yes, it's at a house. Relax. I wanted to bring up something that I think it's beautiful in that message of specifically of Encanto, and it's breaking that
Right.
familial tie of perfection, and you have to be this, because that happens to a lot of us, whether you're Hispanic, you go all over the world, grandparents and parents, they want you to be absolutely perfect. So how, like, when you saw that movie and you saw that message, what did you get out of that message?
You know what my favorite thing is about that movie, other than the imagery, is that so everybody in the family has a gift,
Yeah.
but the one person who didn't get a gift, who was the most human, is the one who saved the family.
Yeah, correct.
And for me, it's like inspiring.
Yeah.
And I think, yes, each person represents like one's the perfectionism, one is like the strong one is the visionary one. And I think it's all of us in different moments. I think they're portraying characters that we can play at any moment in our life. But it was like at the end of the day, you're most powerful when you're most you.
Yeah.
You're most human. And for me, that was like one of the best another movie where I cried. I think it came out like Christmas Eve or on a Christmas. I remember I was in my Christmas pajamas. I was like, we're watching this movie today.
Oh, like it meant like on streaming?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Like on
'Cause I was like, I think they came
on
moving
Disney
like
Plus.
in July or something.
yeah, no, I waited till
Okay.
Disney Plus. Yeah.
I ain't paying for that.
And it was the
paying for
best
that.
Christmas gift I gave. Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Okay.
Best gift I gave myself.
It didn't resonate with me as much as other movies that I've seen from them. I don't know. Again, and then there is a short from Disney, not Pixar. Sorry, I think it's Pixar that made it.
They're owned by the same people.
Yeah. Anyways, but that I watched when I went to watch that movie, which is called Bao.
Oh, Bao is
Oh, that one's
beautiful.
so good.
It
It's
is
so good.
beautiful.
It's such
They
a
played
nice-
that
Yeah.
before the
Yeah.
movie, I think.
Yeah, they did. And I
Oh,
think
so
that
good.
was such a phenomenal little short. Because it
Totally.
was so hard, like, wholesome, and
Yeah.
Totally.
it was amazing. But yeah, no,
My favorite Disney movie of all time is The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I think it's the most A, human movie, and B, it's the most like real life that we see in a Disney movie. And we see like, the triumph of the human spirit, how you can be judged by your face and
Your
your
appearance.
your appearance, but what the contents of your heart are the ones that actually like get you through. Which they have that one line at the very beginning that is the thesis of the entire movie, is who is the monster and who is the man, because they call Quasimodo a monster and everybody is a man, but when they showed him at his weakest, everybody was the monster and he was the man. I bring this up because we've been talking a lot about religious hurt that people can experience, but what is something that strengthens your faith, that you could say, okay, I'm doing it for this, like this is what speaks to me and this is what I want to get out of it?
no.
I don't want to change what I'm going to say, so I'm just going to be
No,
really
yeah,
honest.
for sure.
At the end of the day, my faith and what sets it apart for me is, number one, it's an anchor in every season. So, it's something that I can hold on to that's beyond that moment. And my picture of my God is not a God that I have to go to, but a God that came to me.
Okay.
And so in the hard times, that's just always what I imagine. Like, it's not about me, more effort, more striving, more figuring it out, more, oh my God. But it's like, oh no, I can just actually sit on the couch right now and ask for insight, help, guidance. I mean, I don't know, whatever it is, more money. I mean, whatever. And for me, it's really not like a transactional thing. It's very relational, because I picture like, I love my dad, but at the end of the day, he has his imperfections. But even him and his imperfections, he always wants the best for me. And so I think, okay, if my dad wants the best for me, how much more does my Heavenly Father not want for me? Believing he has it all in his hands. So it's like, I have unlimited access to whatever I want, because there's many moments where I do feel like an orphan, whether that's because my parents aren't able to be what I need in that moment, or I feel alone, I feel abandoned. By the end, I'm like, oh, I'm not orphan. I have a father who I also see as a mother, and I also see as a brother, because that's just the way that I've experienced the Trinity in my life. So with that, I can get through anything. And there's trauma expert. His name is Gabor Mate. And he says trauma is not what happened, like the event that happened to you, but it's what happened inside of you as a result of that trauma. So it's like whatever belief you took on or whatever.
Is that the guy that is very like, I love that guy.
He's amazing.
He's awesome.
He's amazing. I've met him before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
He's just like the most human ever.
Yeah.
I love him. But so in that moment I go, so I can actually go through anything in my life, no matter how hard it is, so long as I don't face it alone, I can get through it. And that's what my faith has provided for me.
Real quick, one of the things that you have said right there that I wanted to kind of ask is, when you say he's the most human ever, what does that mean?
That means that he accepts all facets of humanity. He's sort of like the Shaq movie, where, because he's very about like generational trauma, what makes the person, like everything. He says even the worst act in the world came from someone having an unmet need. And so when you think of it like that, you go, oh shit. That's a big statement, right? Because there's certain acts that I could say I would never forgive that if someone did X, Y, Z. But then when you can go and be in a space where you can tell yourself, well, even that horrendous act, it came from an unmet need. So it's like you can have compassion on a person.
Right.
To me, that's the like most altruistic human quality you can have. So that's what I meant by that.
Do you think that compassion, either being shown from you or shown to you, can be a catalyst to hurt that person or someone else?
I mean, yes, in short, because the best intention can be misused, but
Any act of kindness can be a weaponized.
yeah.
Anything that you do. We've seen it multiple times across the board that everybody that acts nice can at any moment turn around and weaponize those
Totally.
kindness, those acts of kindness. I think it's an easy question to answer because I feel like it is. I mean, obviously, there's a larger explanation to it,
Right.
but I feel like there's an easy answer, which is, like you said, in short, yes. As I mentioned at the very beginning, just like as religion is, for good or for bad,
Right.
it can be weaponized for everything.
Right.
The same thing, my beliefs, my not belief, my non-beliefs, my non-existent beliefs can also be weaponized against me.
Yeah.
And I can also use them to hurt
Totally.
others,
Totally.
right? Regardless of how I do it. Maybe I have no intentions of doing it, but it can also turn into something that potentially can lead into hurting someone else. Just to give you a background, I grew up in Catholicism, right? I grew up in Catholic schools, and then I just simply one day I just decided that it was not for me. Right.
Yeah.
It was just not it. And as soon as I moved to this country, I remember my mom was very against it because she was
Right.
like, we've believed
Right.
our whole life.
Right.
And I said, well, yeah, but I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like a huge thing, especially coming from a Hispanic household. It's huge in our culture to be a believer of some sort, right? Christianity or Catholicism
Right.
is huge for
It is.
Hispanics. So the moment that I told my mom that, it's like I broke something in her. Like, her heart kind of broke at that moment. And I'll never forget because she was like, what do you mean?
Right.
And I was like, I just don't. And I don't think there's anything bad with it, but I
Right.
just couldn't see it myself anymore following those beliefs. I believe that a lot of the things that were happening to me were not related to anything or anyone.
Right.
It was just the thing simply that my actions were leading
Cause and effect.
to a lot of stuff that was happening.
Right.
I made my own luck. And I feel like that's kind of like one of my beliefs is you make your own luck, right? You go out and you
Totally.
do things that lead to those moments. Opposing
Like cause
to
and effect.
opposing to so much waiting for something to happen, you got to make it
You said
happen.
cause and effect too.
Yeah,
Sorry.
she did.
Don't worry. I was like,
You know,
I
and
said
kinda-
it first, but it's fine.
And that was kind
Hey,
of like
Mr.
the way that I
Copycat,
looked
get the
at
fuck out of
things,
here. Yeah.
Right.
right? And that's when I'm referring to you make your own luck kind of way. That you
Totally.
just go out of your way to do
But
it.
Totally.
even in the Bible, it does say like, I know it in Spanish. Ayúdate que yo te ayudaré. So basically, like, you can't just sit on your ass and just wait for me to like kumbaya and do everything for you. Like, you have to do it too.
Right.
And actually, sorry, before you answer, one of the things that I love the most that I actually learned from that pastor that I told you about that I like to look at social media, is that he was saying that if you ask for God for something, he doesn't give it to you. He gives you the opportunities for you to strengthen it. So if you ask for, wisdom, he's going to give you a situation where you either can use that wisdom or continue as you are.
Acquire, practice it.
Acquire
yeah.
practice. Like when people are like, oh, give me patience. You are being tested in that moment to see if you're developing that patience or you're just saying, fuck, give me patience and doing nothing about it. So
I was thinking, not to answer that part, but when you talked about what broke in your mom, I was like, see, you can always find a connection point with people. So I can't relate to you in terms of your beliefs. Well, maybe in some, but in what you just...
Yeah, for sure.
Because I'm sure there's many other things we do agree with. Like 99% of what you just said, I agree with you. But in the breaking and the cultural shift, being queer, that was breaking moment for me. So I was just thinking in that moment, like, oh, I don't know what that feels like in that regard, but I definitely know what that feels like there, right? Because my mother had an imagination and a vision for what her daughter's life would be like.
Absolutely.
Which is fine and fair,
Yeah.
you know, because when my time comes, I'm sure I will do the same, you know, subconsciously, consciously. Oh my God, hopefully she's a soccer player. He's a soccer player, you know, but it was just interesting to me because I'm like, yeah, I know what that feels like to be challenging what's been the norm in your family.
That same thing happened in my family where, and I'm so glad that my mom was super understanding. She was opposed to it, but she was very understanding to where now she's one of the only people that I can talk about religious concepts or beliefs without judgment and without like...
And me, right?
Okay, that's why I said one of the people, not the
okay.
only people.
Oh my God.
No, but I do talk to you a lot about that too, because same thing, you come to it with a place of understanding and not just like
openness, really.
Yeah, and openness.
Yeah.
My mom goes to church every Sunday, 8 a.m. She's at church, whatever, and then when she comes back, immediately I'm like, okay, what did you learn? Like,
That's cool.
what did you talk about? Oh no, the pastor talked about this and this and this, and it's like, okay, yeah, in philosophy it also relates in this and this and this, and oh yeah, I remember that concept because of blah 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 blah. So and this is something that I tell everybody, like, look, 99% of every single school of thought is exactly the same thing.
Right.
It's that 1% that we've killed each other, judge each other, you know, broken families for, but it's because we cling on to that 1% like it was the 99%.
Right.
Do you have any final thoughts for the audience out there to see?
I don't have final thoughts, but I've really enjoyed this conversation because this is in itself what I think we need more of in the world.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate having the opportunity to be here and have this moment with you guys.
Yeah,
Thank
I think we lack a lot of that.
Yeah.
Of that opportunity to sit down and be civil about
Exactly.
having
Of course.
different views.
Exactly.
And,
I mean,
and
we're gonna
being
beat
able
the
to
piss
voice
out of
it.
each other right up when the camera's cut. But anyway,
Right. This is all a show.
Yeah, but it's like, you wait.
Yeah.
She's being eyeing me the
Yeah,
whole time,
yeah.
like,
you don't see it, but she has like a knife and brass
Yeah.
knuckles underneath. So it's just
No worries.
but yeah. So it's good. It's good. Thank you for coming to the
Yeah.
show. I hope you enjoyed it.
I did.
And then definitely we can check out the movies that you mentioned. I'll
Yes.
make sure you give me the name so I can leave it in the description for everybody to watch.
Will do.
tell us one last time your books. Where can they find them? Social media,
again,
stuff like that.
so my Instagram is Ashley Diana Leon, and my TikTok is Raices Returnings, and you can find my 2 ebooks, Rebuilding Reverence and Queer and Called, on our website. As part of every purchase, you join a virtual community that is aligned with what the book is about. So if you fall into Rebuilding Reverence or if you fall into Queer and Called, there's a space for you, because I'm trying to create more spaces like this.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah, thank you again.
And also,
you.
Oh yeah, and also the merch. Thank you, my #1 fanboy right here. Also on our website, all of our merch that is, like I said, consciously created with purposeful messages on everything.
awesome. So where can they find you on social media, brother?
Hey, you can find me as Dan Valder and pretty much everywhere. That's it. What about you?
And for me is Juan Sierra Cortez.
And don't forget to find us on TikTok and Instagram and here on YouTube as the Different Lens Podcast.
That's right, baby.
Thank you guys so much for coming to this space and to, be able to understand every viewpoint that we've brought. And even if you don't agree, please let us know, respectfully, of course, what your beliefs are, what you don't agree with, and any movie recommendations, any cringy Christian movie that maybe you think is going to be
just
hilarious.
for comedy.
Maybe just for
Lost the
comedy.
Pastor.
Or maybe any movie that really, really, Jesus, any movie that really made you cry and understand a certain part of you that maybe you changed.
Velocity
Yes.
Pastor.
The
I
Velocity
cried.
Pastor.
I'm never gonna watch that. Just to be clear. All right. Bye. Thank you.